So hey, how y'all doing, man? I'm back again with another episode of the It Factor. Today we had somebody great. As you know, he just dropped knowledge on y'all, let y'all know about a little bit about himself, but he about to let y'all know a lot about himself. So how you doing, Mr. J'Kwan Fulmore?
Yes, sir.
Right? I got it right.
Yes, sir. That's
You
me.
know. So man, we'll say, man. So what took you to Florida, man? You know, where are you originally from?
So I actually grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Cool.
So shout out to the Bill.
Shout out. There you go.
So I actually, but I actually my family moved to Florida my senior year of high school, and I really wasn't trying to make that move because I was a senior. I wanted to graduate to people I grew up with. Right. So I actually struck a deal with my mom. She was like, hey, like you can stay in North Carolina, graduate with your friends if you choose a school to go to for college in Florida. And so, fair is fair, I guess. So I started doing some research and I ended up deciding that I was going to go to culinary school. So I was looking up the top culinary schools because if you're going to do something, do it all the way.
Right.
And so I ended up going to Lake Cordon Bleu out in Orlando.
All right, man. That's amazing, bro. So how was it, at Cordon Bleu? I heard a good number of people that went down there. I haven't actually know anyone personally, but I heard of the school. I remember the commercials, stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, I can't cook like that, but I know some people that can, so how was it? How was that experience?
Listen. So it was cool. Like, I feel like it was a 2-year program. So I feel like the first year, solid.
Mm-hmm.
The second year going, so the school is it was a publicly traded company. So after our first year there, they were like, hey, y'all, listen, like y'all are basically going to be the last class to leave the school. And so since the class rotation is every 6 weeks, teachers would be like, let go or whatever. So since their job was over, but since teachers did multiple different classes, nobody knew who was going to be fired basically. So teachers just stopped caring. Like they were like, yo, like I don't even know if I'm gonna have a job next month. So, but I don't know. The relationships I built there were great. I still have a lot of good friends from there. And it's great on a resume. I'll give them that.
Right.
But yeah, they did us dirty.
Oh man, he like, I was the last class, man, but we tried.
I was the last class to walk out. Like they started literally like auctioning off grills and stoves and cooking equipment like while we were still attending the school.
Oh nah. Yeah. But it's okay. You still got your experience. That's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, what would you say drives you to want to be, a dietitian for college athletes?
So it's insane, like how far we can push the limits of our bodies.
Right.
Seriously. And what we put into our bodies directly correlates our abilities to be able to do those insane things. Like when you look at boxers, or if you look at like even college football players and basketball players, like the grind is stupid real. And I just feel like to be a part of it, like I stopped growing in like 9th grade, bro. Like I'm like 5'4". So any basketball dreams I had, like any of that was dead. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna still I'm gonna be on the scene, bro. Like I'm gonna be there. Mm-hmm. And so it's like I just think it's great to see like how far we can push our bodies and how much we can do, but you can't do none of that. Like your body's a machine. If you don't oil it correctly, like it's not happening.
You ain't gonna do it for you. I understand that. I like that, man, because I think about it. Even me previous being an athlete, I was like, hey, I remember some of the things I used to do in high school, man. I got the college courses fell off, but I was like, hey, I used to be in shape. Like I used to be eating like this, or trying to do something, like trying to do the right things to not like, right. I would say get overweight and stuff like that. But now it's like, I tell you, I still take care of myself. So I'm happy about that, man. So how was it to attend the UConn, man? That I know it was cold.
Yo, it was freezing, bro. So I actually went to the UConn campus in Hartford, Connecticut. Okay. And so if you know Hartford, or if anybody listening knows Hartford, it's a jungle out there, bro. Like it's people talk about the Bronx, but the Bronx not Hartford, I'll tell you that. So I had a good time. I really did. But I did go out there like with no prior friends or family. So I was out there just by myself before I started meeting classmates and doing things like that.
Mhm.
Um, I say for what it was, UConn treated me treated me okay while I was there. Like I said, I built some great bonds and relationships. But it was just a move that I made on a whim, really, to get
Yeah.
out of Florida. And I just I don't know. I feel like the college experience is very original for
Mhm.
everybody, and
You need that
mine
though.
probably would have been. Yeah, absolutely.
You need that
I
getaway,
agree.
man. Because I was up in Boston, Massachusetts. So I went that far. I've been in UConn a
Oh
couple
man.
times. Because my frat brothers, we went there actually to meet some new frat brothers, and I remember going over there to UConn campus. I was like, "This is a nice campus, but why it's so cold? What's
Yeah.
going on?" It's like, "Hey, down the street, you can't go down the street now. You know, you can't." I was like, "What?
No.
Wait a minute." And of course, me being from where I am, it's like, "Oh, I understand, man. Every college, like every HBCU." Well, I came from Clark Atlanta University, so every HBCU is kind of close to the hood, and it's like, uh, you know, we see it. It's okay. Like I can live in it. It needs to get better, but I can live in it. So like it was a
Right.
to experience that school and go to Northeast because that was like white. It was different. It was very different, but
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
experience. Though. I
Yeah.
needed the experience. You need the experience to get away. Like if you can get away, do it because it'll make you think different and like put you in a different place that you should be
I
in.
tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I graduated high school in 2015, and I've lived in three different states now since then. So like it's like every 2 years, basically like 2.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
I pick up and go because it's like do it while you
While you're
can.
young.
You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
grind down. It's I have money, but it's like I got experience because it's like
Right.
I'm doing what I'm doing, and you meet so many good people that can help you in the future.
You're right about that, man. You're right about that, man. So like what did you learn, while they're at UConn? Like what did you learn from them that I remember you saying in the question statements, you were saying that it made you see that some of the students work and get good food, stuff like that. And I can see me being at a college campus. I know some of the food we was getting it wasn't the greatest food to be feeding those, children, man, young people at that, so
Right. So at the Hartford campus, we didn't have dorms or anything in Hartford. So it's like we didn't have like swipe cards or nothing like that. Like it was really you go to school, you go to class, you go home. And so I like being up there like by myself with no backup, no crutch to fall on or whatever. Like I kind of struggled a little bit to like, like maintain. Like I really had to work to live in my apartment and then go to
mm-hmm.
school at the same time. And so like I found out that I really wasn't the only person doing that. There were a lot of out of state students who came to the same campus that I was on that were like struggling to make ends meet. So it's like it wasn't what they were like eating at UConn. It's that like a lot of people just weren't eating.
Yeah.
And so that's when it was crazy. So I became really big on food insecurity, which
Mm-hmm.
is not knowing when your next meal is going to be or what your next meal is going to be. And so the problem runs into there's people who are like, oh, I don't got a lot. I don't have enough money or knowledge to be able to eat healthy. So I'm going to use this $3 and shoot to McDonald's or shoot to Burger King, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But you don't know if tomorrow you'll have that same $3 in your pocket to do it again. Like it's a struggle. So, and I became like real in tune with that, and being from like a heavy food background, it's like, dang, bro, like I don't, and I don't like seeing that. Like I don't like seeing people, my peers doing that. And then it's like, all right, I know you live at home with your family. So if you out here rough, like your whole family probably down bad, and that's not okay, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
Especially
Yeah.
when food is so accessible.
Mm-hmm. Because I think about that when I was up there, man. It's like I remember my card went out. Like I went to the dean. I was like, "Hey, man, this happened. This ain't never happened while I was at Clark." But of course, I'm out on my own. I'm like, I can't call home and be like, "Hey, I need
Right.
some money." So he gave me a job, bro, and I had to like. That's how I got my food. Like, we go to the store, get tuna sandwich. Like, I would like shop for the week stuff. It was the first time I had to go like shop, be a grown up and go shop for groceries and like know what to shop for.
Right.
Of course, stuff high up there, like it's super high in the South. Like so, like they stuff is super taxed. So like trying to buy food, like you say, oh, I'm gonna get some fruit. That junk, it may be $4 or $5 for some oranges here. Up there, it's like $8,
Yo, I
$9. You
tell
like, wait
you.
a minute, why is it so high? Like, and then like you said, you look at the dang box of cookies, it's like $3. You're like, okay, cool. I'll just get some cookies. I get
Right,
this.
I'm gonna just grab that. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get some tuna though. You know, I'm gonna try to. I need some meat. You know, I need some protein. But other than that, that was like sad for me, bro. I remember I lost like weight up there, boy, because I was like, can't even eat. I remember coming home for Christmas. My mom was like, "Dang, you not eating up there?" I'm like, I don't even want to have this conversation. So for you
Yeah, it's like
to,
low key. No, nah, I'm
yeah,
not.
no, I'm not. I'm not, mama. I'm like, I'm not good. But I'm trying to, I'm trying to create something here. But it, like I said, that went into the learning of me being up there, man. Like I was like, I should have a meal every day. And it was people around, like you said, it was people around me that wasn't eating. I had a frat brother that was like that. That come to the crib, like, bro, get a fruit cup, man. Get this, man. And I was like, dang, he really not eating. Like, I was spoiled that my
Right.
other college, like, had to
Yeah,
swipe.
yeah.
But that thing ran out on a 20th swipe, bro. And I was like, it's like not knowing that many people. Like, a couple girls went up there with me because it was the first group to go up there from my school because I was in a
Right.
2-year program. And when we got there, I was like, wait a minute, like, okay, how the food work, cause I'm a big dude. So I'm like, hey, how did it work? Da da da. So as time went, I was like, why did it ran out? One morning I went for breakfast, bro, and that thing wouldn't work, man. My hustling mentality kicked in. I was like, I gotta eat, bro. Or this not
I
gonna
think I'm
work.
in and out right now.
Mm-hmm. So so I know about that, man. And that's sad, but I love what you're doing, bro. And I definitely support that, bro. I'm glad we done met.
I appreciate that.
Glad we
Thank
done
you. Thank you.
met. So, like, man, I would say, what is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
So listen, like I said, I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's a military city, but I didn't grow up like on Fort Bragg or anything, just outside it. And
Uh,
it's like my personal situation, like my mom was a single mom, she got married when I was 16, but I'm already 16. So it's like growing up, it was just like you as a kid, like you pick up on certain stuff, and
right.
it's like and it's like in the areas that we was living, like I have friends who was also living like I'm
Your
living.
situation.
And so it's like I don't even, it's not like from a kid I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something different and help fix this, blah blah blah. But you pick up like, dang, bro, everybody can't be living like this. Like it
Yeah,
got to
they
be
can't be
sweeter
like that.
somewhere. Like
Got to be something
it got to
better
be,
than this, man.
yeah. And so it's like, just like some things like you just can't ignore. And so it's like I went to high school, decided I was gonna go to culinary school. I got to culinary school. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be a chef in a restaurant. I'm gonna have my own restaurant. It's gonna be cool, like the basic blase blah that every chef wants to do.
Right.
Then I went to one nutrition class in culinary school, and it just derailed my whole plan. And I was like, all right, boom, I'm gonna be a dietitian. So I go to UConn, and then it's like all you do is look to your left and look to your right, and you like, like I gotta derail my whole thing again, because it's like the things that I want to do aren't necessarily what's needed. Like, sure, like we need more Black doctors, we need more Black dietitians, we need more Black nutritionists to look out for us. But
Right.
it's like at the end of the day, like as a people, like we gotta look out for each other. And so it's like I'm not saying like I want to be like some kind of big hero or things like that, but it's like I want to do what I can. Like I want to do my part. I want to have a voice on the struggle of food insecurity in like urban neighborhoods or low income neighborhoods, because people just don't care. Like they'd be
They
like,
don't.
oh, how are you struggling? Your family's on welfare. We give you food stamps. We do this, we do that. And it's like, bro, like you just don't get it. Like
They
it's
don't
like
get
you.
that. Like they're not gonna go take them food stamps to Whole Food and try to get no food, bro. Like and the thing is, me being older now and just bought a home and with my girl, and we went to this place. It's called Trader Joe's, and it's like,
Yeah,
hey, Trader Joe's got organic food. No, okay, let's get some.
yeah,
And I'm like, I was sitting there one day. I think it was like the second time going there. And of course, it's a lot of people in there, but it's not a lot of us in there. So I'm like,
right.
wait a minute, like why is this? And it's in the urban neighborhood. So I'm looking. I'm like, dang, I can really afford groceries out of here. Like
Right.
as a kid, I wouldn't been in here. Like I wouldn't been in here. Like
Absolutely.
granted, my mom went on food stamps. My mom was a hard worker, bro. Like if she could have got it, she tried, bro. They gave her $5. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that
That's
as a kid.
crazy.
And we was like, what? You got 2 boys? You know, you by yourself? You know, like and to think, bro, I love my mom. She's a strong woman because it was like, I knew we were struggling. Like, I knew. And it's like, still got a good Christmas, still got clothes on your back, got somewhere to stay, you eating good. Like, and to
Absolutely.
think, you know, as a young person, you like you said, you like, man, wait a minute, man, this ain't right. Everybody can't like go to your friend's house, the same thing. Like, you go do stuff, you like, why are we living? Like,
Yeah, it's like this is normal to us, but like in the back of your mind, you're like, it gotta be
gotta
sweeter
be.
than this. Like this, this can't be it for everybody, bro.
It can't be. And then I would go to other people. When I remember going to one of my cousin's house, he bought a home, and I came up to Atlanta, and he took me to tour Clark, and we talked. He actually like a mentor, but he was my cousin, and we was like talking this stuff, and he was like, yeah, man, you know, something good gonna happen to you, bro. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, you get to the right place. And to have a person like that, I feel like that'll take you out of your situation. Like, that's the best thing that can happen to you. And I tell a lot of young people that, like what we said earlier, like, if you can be taken out of that, like, I was from South Georgia, Fort Valley, Georgia, to be exact. And to take me out of there, even to come to Atlanta, bro, was a mind shot. Like, even though I came up here to my auntie house, stuff like that, it was nothing like be around somebody that was young. They had a house, cooking food, like, you like, they living like,
Yeah.
I can live like this. All right,
Yeah.
cool. This is what we gonna do, you know. So
Yes. Listen, I taught this class while I was in Connecticut called MOCA, and it stands for Men of Color Health Awareness.
mm-hmm.
And so one of the dudes, like I was in Connecticut for I think 3 Christmases, and so one of the members of MOCA was this man named Glenn Cassis, and he was like, "Yo, like, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you going back home? Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Nah, like I go home for Thanksgiving. I got to stay here for Christmas." And he's like, "Yo, come have Christmas with me and my family or whatever." And I'm like, "All right, cool." It's like Hartford, and then like a 10-minute drive is this town called Bloomfield. And I went to Bloomfield to go to his house, bro. And they literally, it's like walking onto the set of the Cosby's. I was like, this is
Totally
crazy. It was crazy. And I think his wife was the first Black integrated class to UConn. And then he was the second. And so I'm like, yo, like just looking at their house, bro. Like they had him, his wife, his 2 kids, his mom, and it's like a whole, like it was a whole shabam. And I'm like, this is beautiful, bro. And
right.
I really I give it up to my parents, my mom and my stepdad, because like they really, like you were saying, like you don't see the hurt or the struggle that's going on and all this other stuff. And it's like, it seemed like every time we moved somewhere, it was a little step up, a little. And it's like that grind, you don't even really appreciate it until you're older, and you're like, dang, like, because my mom had me at right after she turned 17.
Oh, man.
And then she had my brother at 20, and I'm 23 right now, and I can't imagine, bro, walking around with 2 kids, like, oh man, like
we young. And you're 20.
We all gotta eat. Gotta eat.
And I gotta feed y'all. And I gotta buy some clothes. Oh man. But she did.
She did it, and I really appreciate that. Like, and that's like, it humbles you without you doing it yourself. Like seeing the people who like look out for you and raise you do all that stuff and be able to accomplish those things. You're like, it's really like one of those things like, oh, I'm gonna put on for my family. I'm gonna put on for my mom. Like, I'm gonna pay that back. And it's like, my thing is, of course, I want to give back to my family. I want to give back to my mom, but I want all of us also, like, everybody. I want to get back to your mom. I want to get back to his mom. I want all of us to be straight. Like, we don't have to be where we are, like, and we don't have to be looked at how we're looked at just because we're in a low income neighborhood or because we're in an urban society.
Right. Because we don't want to be, that's the thing. We don't want to be there. Like, nobody wants to be.
Nobody wants that. Like,
that situation, it ain't like you just gave me the situation. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But certain people, like I tell my girl all the time, certain people are put in situations. And I always say, I believe in the Most High, of course. So I say, God put you in your situation because he knows you can deal with that situation. And it's going to grow you. Everybody's situation going to be different,
Absolutely.
And I don't feel like she could have been in my situation. I'm like, nah, be thankful. You grew up in a nice household. Y'all like the Cosby's in this thing. Y'all got the pictures, everything. Like you just said.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm thankful that you had it. Be thankful that you had it, bro. A lot of folks don't. You know, none of us walking around want to be on food stamps, bro. That's not it. Nobody want to do that, man. And then even with that, you don't know what food to buy, bro. You like, I'm gonna go get some hot fries. This so I'm gonna get some shoes. You know, you trying to get stuff that's cheap because you don't know how much amount. Even if $500,000, it doesn't matter. You still not gonna know what to buy because of your situation. It's like, okay, what should I buy? You know, so
absolutely, and that's a big part of what's coming in the future. You know, with Erbody Eatz, it's to demonstrate and it's to educate. So we're going to try to push the importance of nutrient dense foods. Mm-hmm. So healthy food doesn't have to be expensive, but it's because people aren't educated to know how to put certain foods together. Like you can get full off of a low calorie diet, you know, but that's not saying starve yourself either. Like you just need your complex carbs, your proteins, your vegetables, and drink water. But the thing is, like, if you support in, like, let's say you're a single mom with 3 kids and you're trying to support your kids, people think, like you were saying, like they go and buy the chips and they go and buy the juices and everything because they think volume means that they'll be able to eat, you know, for X amount of time. But that's not the case. Like, and it all factors. It's a cycle. It's really a cycle because if you buy, let's say you buy trash food for your kids, your kids aren't going to be able to reach their best potential mentally as well as physically. So it's like, so they might struggle in school or they might have behavioral problems, and it all correlates because their diet isn't where it should be. So now your kid is struggling in school. Once you leave high school, for whatever reason, high school matters so much more than it should. So once you leave high school, the things that you did in high school affect your ability to go to college. And then if you can't go to college, you can't get a high-paying job. And if you can't get a high-paying job, where are you going to be at? You're going to be working at one of the jobs in the neighborhood that you grew up in. And now you're one of the people who never leave home because you weren't able to maximize your potential because food is hard to come by when food is literally everywhere you look. But nobody knows how to feed themselves, and we don't know how to feed our kids because we're not taught that. Right. Like that's something we should be taught in school, how to eat. And it's weird that it's not.
There's a lot of things that not taught, my guy. Like, and that's, you cracked the head on that, man, because, and I didn't even write this down. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm glad you did. I'm working to be a college professor. I'm already a developer. And in doing that, I do want to one day get to that point to where I can create a class to where it's like life skills class, because people need it, like where people like you, other people could come in and talk like about these things that we need to hear, but also teach you how to, you know, buy a house. Let's pay these student loans off. Because it's crazy that you go to college and nobody says nothing about how you supposed to eat, how you supposed to do this, you know, or you make all this money, like how do y'all save it? Like, what do I do to outside of a 401k to save? Like, because everybody ain't gonna get no 401k. You know, or we're not going to get Social Security. We can say it. It's not going to happen. But we're saving for it. It's like your job takes money out. It's like, but I'm never going to see that, you know. But, you know, we have a mindset that like, hey, when I'm 40, I'm going to retire.
Absolutely, bro.
Like, what is retiring for you? Is it like I retire and I don't go on trips or something? Or I go on trips or something? Because retiring for me is once I say I'm a tenure professor or something like that, or doing this every day, and I'm like, okay, and I got money coming in, of course, but it's like it's not about the money anymore. That's when I'm like, oh, okay,
right, absolutely,
everything can be taken care of. Even if a check ain't coming in every month, it can be taken care of. You know, so
facts, so, and that's so necessary. Like I'm gonna need updates on that because I tell you, man, like when I left here to go to Connecticut, first of all, I didn't do my research. I fully thought I was going to a dorm on the Hartford campus. Didn't know there wasn't a dorm till I did my student orientation, and I booked a one-way flight. And so I was stuck basically. So I was like, dang, I got to get a job like today so I can afford to go to school in a couple of weeks or whatever. And it's like, I know those life skills that you're talking about. Like I didn't know how to feed myself. I knew how to cook, but I didn't know how to properly feed myself to be able to have a budget, I guess. I didn't know how to save money. I didn't know how to do anything. Like, so I'm just up here like naked, basically. Like, dang, like I went to school, like my family moved my senior year and I was living with friends, but this is the first time that I've been by myself, and I'm out here like just like, oh man, like dang, like it's about to get cold in a few months too. Like I'm
I ain't
really
even got no
down bad
jacket.
out
I
here.
ain't even got a proper jacket out here. You
I
know,
got all Florida wear, like, and so
you got this
I
shit.
was like, bro, I would have needed one of those classes. So I definitely support that, and I respect the vision.
Yeah, man. That's why pretty much I would say, first off, I'll say, do you have any questions for me?
Um, no questions per se, but I definitely wanted to shout you out because like your platform is giving people a chance to like speak on
Mhm.
something, give somebody a voice. I
Thank you.
wanted to do I really wanted to do podcasting before, just kind of to be the same way to like, oh, I want to use my platform to let you say something.
Mhm.
But right now that's not in the cards for me, so I'm glad to see somebody else doing
Cool, man.
the
Thank
it's
you.
like great minds think alike, and so it's like I respect it like more than you could even think. And then it's
Mhm.
like your demographic that you're trying to reach, it's like I love it because it's nobody cares about what I want to say until I have a certain amount of followers, until I have a
Yeah,
certain amount of
brother.
money in my account.
Yeah,
So
brother. And the more time goes, I had, friends, family members that see the show and say, "Hey, you're an inspiration." Then you have certain people that are like, "Bro, you got to get your numbers up." Da da da. And I tell them this. I say, "It's not about the numbers. It's about who you're reaching. It's not
absolutely,
about no numbers. Like that stuff. As long as you don't focus on, you don't have to focus on it. It's gonna come. Like it's
facts,
gonna come." That's another
facts.
thing they got to be taught in that class. I'm gonna start writing this stuff down because the more I think about it, it's like, you know, I feel like it's my purpose to get our people to where they need to be, not where they
For
want
sure,
to be, where they need to be. Because if you get where you need to be, everything that you want gonna come.
right.
And we just have to have that change. And I felt like this show is that, bro, because like you said, to bring somebody on here, nobody know who we is, man. They like, they got a few followers, they son, so he ain't even post this right. His spelling was off. It's like, no, but listen to the message. And if you listen
Right,
to the
like
message, it'll change your life because you're really gonna think like, oh man, I want to reach out to everybody eats, bro. He can cook, but look, he dropped knowledge in this video.
I'm
So let me see
saying,
what's up. So I'm
right,
thankful
and
to
I
have you on the show, bro.
I
Anytime,
appreciate that. I
anytime,
appreciate that. Watching your other stuff though, it's like um I don't I'm not big on technology. So it's like I got the basics. I got a phone, I got my computer, stuff like that. But it's like IT stuff, nothing. Cybersecurity stuff, nothing. And it's like when I look at it, I don't expect to see somebody who's doing stuff like that to look like me.
got
So
you.
it's like just the representation, is crucial as well. Because it's like, damn, like black people be doing cybersecurity, like cybersecurity. So it's like, why?
Here, man. We everywhere,
So
man. That's
I love it so much. Like when you post something or when you drop something, I'm like, dang, like I ain't know we did this either. So it's like, what do I know about us? So so it's like I'm grateful to even be learning and taking in more stuff that we're doing out here because like we really like you said, like we really out here. And so
we
I
out
just
here, bro.
appreciate you using what you got to let other people say what they need to say.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and as time grew, I started back around this time last year, like just documentation stage. Like, okay, we're gonna do the it factor. Like, what's the name? The man factor. Just trying to figure that out. And
Right.
to get to this point, that's my speaker.
No worries.
To get to that point and say, oh man, like, okay, we got the business and tech people. That's good. That's a basis, but like that ain't all our people do. Like we got the
Right.
athletes, we got the cooks, we got the dudes that's out here. No matter what's your occupation, you could be on the show. Let's just talk about your occupation, man, and what's your plan to see. And the people need to hear that because I feel like through my page, as it grows, y'all gonna grow because people gonna see it. They gonna come back to episode, whatever number episodes say,
Right.
"Oh, bro, he a cook. He said he want to do this. Wait a minute, man. He can come to my school and do this. He said he
Right.
pull up the sun. So man, Florida State needs some da da da. Something like that. Or
Right.
FAMU needs this. So that's the type of thing I want the show to be, bro. And ever changing is what our people have to be. We able to adapt. They just have to know that we can
It's a
do it.
beautiful thing. A beautiful thing.
Thank you, man. You done made my day with that, bro. Like, I try, man. That's all I can say. I try.
I respect it.
But yeah, man, with that, bro, that's pretty much it. Any more shout outs you want to do or?
So if anybody watching is in the Orlando or Tampa area, it's November right now. Coming around March, there's a park called Lake Eola Park. I want to pull together a big community barbecue. God willing, the COVID situation is under control. Florida can't get it together right now, but hopefully with this 6 to 8 week lockdown coming up, you know, we be able to join society again. So that's in the works right now. I'm in the middle of talking to city council, trying to get the permits and regulations and everything going for that. It's just gonna be one big cookout, one big family barbecue out there. And either in the middle towards the end, I'm gonna drop basically what we were talking about today about how everybody around you ain't eating like we eating today. So just let's make sure we look out for one another. We're gonna be setting up food drives. Everything's going to be posted on the IG page for Erbody Eatz. So I'm going to be keeping everybody updated with that as well. And I really do appreciate you having me again, bro.
No problem, brother. And with that, bro, I would say send me those links when you post, bro, so I can post.
Absolutely.